Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So guys, today I want to talk about, there's been a lot going on TikTok. Now I just recently talked about I've seen about the 50-50 that the men and women are arguing about. Like, men say they want 50, they want a woman that wants just going to do 50-50. Some women are with it, some women are not. But check that out on my Time for Reactions channel. Okay, that video is going to be on my Time for Reactions channel. So let's go. Now we're going to be talking about women and dating men with kids. Now, I think I already told y'all how I felt about that. I do feel like if you're young, I don't think it would be a good idea to date men with kids, because there's going to be responsibilities and he's not always going to be able to give you his undivided attention. Then you have to worry about his baby's mother and how she's going to be treating you. And you too young to be going through all that. Now, I did say that I want to date men with young kids, and I'm sticking by that. I will never date a man with young kids. It's too much. I've done it before, and it's okay if the kid's mother is mature. But if you had one of those kids' mothers that's just childish and she just wants to start a whole bunch of problems, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna be stressed out a lot, and the relationship's not even gonna work. It's gonna put a real damper on that relationship. Now, I also said that I didn't have a problem with dating men that had older children, but it depends, because you still have those type of children. They can be in their 20s and they still begging for money and they still acting all needy, and they're just those kind of kids. Oh man, they're so annoying. They are so annoying. So you definitely have to look at, you're gonna have to do a kid trial. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to do a kid trial. And I know you guys are like, what's a kid trial? You're going to have to see how these kids are. How the older kids are. Are they clingy? If those older kids are clingy, get out of there. They're going to be just like young kids. They're always going to be asking her for something. They're always want to spend time with him. They're always going to be asking for money. You might ask them for some money. Oh, I can't do that because you're my oldest kid. They in college and I got to do this. Keep moving, sister. That's why I told you, it's just really better to date men that don't have kids. Seriously, it's better to date. You're gonna have more freedom with them type of men. Them men that have kids, half the time they don't even have no freedom. They can't go nowhere. If they do get some freedom, she's always gonna be calling him, talking about when you gonna pick the kids up. When you gonna it's just better to date men that don't have kids. But yeah, if you're gonna date men with kids, do a kid trial. Figure out how the kids are, even the older ones. Because you have a lot of those older ones, they're crumb snatchers. All they do is ask for money. Day in, day out, day in, asking for money all the time. When they know they have, a lot of them kids are very lazy. They have a job. They can't keep a job worth anything. And when they fall back, they gonna call him, and then you're gonna buy, and then it's just gonna put a damper in the relationship. You guys are gonna be arguing about it. Then he's gonna bring up that, oh, I ain't putting nobody above my kids. That's my kid. And then you're like, you know what? I'm out of here, dude. You know, oh, why are you leaving? Cause you can't compete with my kid. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of ruckus. But let me get a chair, y'all, because I'm tired of standing. Let me get a chair. I'm going to be your therapist today. Call me. I'm not a therapist. Y'all already know that. But I'm going to give y'all some good gems today. So, while I'm sipping on this delicious smoothie. So, we're going to be talking about women and dating men with kids. So, this is what this lady had to say.
Videos where men are talking about don't date single moms or whatever, but can we talk about women dating men who have kids? Like women dating men who have kids, especially if you don't have kids, I'm telling you, don't do it. If there's any advice I could give to somebody out there, I'm telling you, if you are a younger woman and you maybe like older men or whatever or something, but you want to date somebody and they have a child or they have children with multiple women, I'm telling you, do not do it. Because the amount of baby mama drama that you will go through, I'm telling you, it's not worth your sanity. It's not worth your sanity. The amount of baby mama drama that you will go through. Because see, the thing is with baby mamas, a lot of them don't accept that their baby daddies have moved on. Even when they have moved on. They have moved on with their lives, they're living their lives, whatever. I'm telling you, if you're a young woman who don't have kids, do not go into a relationship with somebody who already has kids. Okay? Because these baby mamas, they act like their baby daddies are supposed to be responsible for them for the rest of their lives. Every time they have a problem, is the baby daddy supposed to come to the rescue, even when they're in another relationship? Okay, I'm not saying you had history with somebody, you have a child with somebody, if they're in a situation you can't help them. But not every problem you're going to call your baby daddy to come to your rescue. That's just disrespectful for his relationship that he's in. These women will make your lives a living hell. They will destroy your birthday. They will destroy your kid's birthday if you decide you want to have kids with that person. They will destroy Christmas. They will destroy every single holiday you can possibly have with that man. They will destroy it. You'll be on vacation. They'll be calling on vacation. You understand me? And what would make it even worse is if the man you're dating doesn't set boundaries with these women and let them know, listen, we're not together anymore. I'm in a different relationship and you can't be doing these things. You understand me? If I could give any advice to anybody out there, if you're a woman who don't have kids, do not date men who have children or children with multiple women. It's not going to end very well, majority of the time.
Hey, y'all, it's Auntie Sheila K. Man, y'all really resonated with that whole grill dinner video. My goodness. So here's a woman who posted a response. Who is it? Trace79. She says, with the whole women doing a lot of work, she says, facts. I was immediately tasked with taking care of his daughters and running his errands. My life is harder because of him. It took me 25 years plus to figure this out. Nieces, let's talk about this. For those of you all that have not been married, everything that I post these as literally cautionary tales. So let's talk about it. That man that she married already had a daughter. I'm assuming, I'm making an assumption. He knew when he married Miss Tracy, whatever your name is, sis, he knew that he would automatically have built-in child care, a built-in maid, and free labor because it's what women are supposed to do.
And some men, they don't care. Some men will leave their young kids with you. Say, for instance, you come over there, y'all not living together and you come over there to visit him and his kids is there. And he's tired of them. He'll be like, oh man, I had to run to the store. He'll even ask you, hey, you want something from the store? And you'll be like, sure, hey, can you watch them? I'll be right back. And he don't come back 2 hours later and then you guys arguing like, what the heck was that? Oh man, I don't care if you got caught up with anything. I was here for 2 hours watching your freaking kids. I'm not your kid's mom. Like, what the heck is wrong with you? And then you leave that immediately. Because you already know what he's about. He wants to live in, like this lady said, child care babysitter. Because people know when they have kids, you're not going to have the freedom that you used to have. You're not going to be, if you have a young child, you're not going to be able to get up and go where you want. Now, there have been women that have done that. And I just think it's a copycat. I think it's a copycat thing where a lot of these women are seeing these other women do it and they don't get that much time. And, well, the last lady that did it, she got life. So it depends on what state you're in. But a lot of women, nothing's wrong with them women. They just see other women do it, monkey see, monkey do, and they want to do it. But it's a lot of women that are leaving their kids home alone by themselves and going to party. One lady, you sat right there in that room and you spread your legs, and you wasn't thinking about that then. You weren't thinking about that then. Now all of a sudden, when the baby's here, you don't want to have nothing to do with the baby. Who told you women that it was easy to raise a baby? Who told you that? Because whoever told you women that, they're lying. It's very, very hard to take care of a kid. I don't have any kids and I know that. So it's not easy raising kids, because I see other women doing it. It's not easy. I see women struggling with one kid, and then you have all these. I look on YouTube, and then you have all these women that have. There's two YouTubers on in the baby section of YouTube. They call it the mother sector, because YouTube has different sectors in there. They have crime. They have DIY, they have cooking, and then they had the mothers there that share their story. And there's two mothers on there that had 10 kids. This one lady on there has 10 kids. I seen a lady on TikTok, she had 12 kids. That's a lot of kids. But the lady with the 12 kids, the man was actually in the home. The home was very, you could tell that, that they had the money and they were very successful in raising their kids, their 12 kids. Because the kids were nicely dressed and things like that. But, man, let me tell you something. It's hard for a woman to have one kid, let alone 5 kids, 10 kids, 12 kids. There's been women that been on TV that had 14 kids. I mean, that's a lot of freaking kids. So, yeah, it's not easy. And if you're not ready, and if you have a kid and you know that you're not going to be able to take care of this kid, then that's telling me that you're only doing it for benefits. You're only doing it to benefit yourself for your own selfish ways. You just want the kids so that you can get these benefits, so that you can get food stamps, so that you can get WIC, so that you can get free healthcare, so that you can get all this free stuff. Not knowing that stuff is not going to be here for the long run. You're going to have to get up off your lazy behind and do something. Let's start to use our brains this year. It's ridiculous.
We as women by nature are very nurturing. And so even if the child isn't yours, you're going to be put in a mode where you're mothering this child. He knew that. And that's why I tell you nieces, and I implore you nieces, if you are single and if you do not have children, don't fuck with men that have kids. Leave men that have children alone, because all they're doing is looking for free labor, a surrogate mother to help raise their kids. Leave them alone. Leave that for women that already have kids. Now, if you're a woman that has children, it actually makes sense to date a man or to marry a man that has kids, because he understands what it is to be a parent. That is the only time in which I would actually advise that. I'm talking to my child-free nieces out here. Don't mess with men. Also, we're not getting into the free labor. They know what they're doing, so be strategic. Decide what it is you want in a husband. And y'all, contrary to popular belief, I'm actually not against marriage. I'm against fuckery in marriage and choosing that. Instead, realize that there are multi-gazillions of the most incredible, amazing, loving, kind, evolved, alpha, masculine provider men out there. Here's why I'm not sure if I want to date men who have kids anymore. This is more so for my women in their 30s or 40s who know they don't want to have children, which is totally fine, by the way, and are open to dating men who already have kids. Hear me out. I'm 37 years old, and I made the personal decision that I do not want to get pregnant. It's not something that feels natural for me personally or something that I want to experience. Honestly, scares the shit out.
Yeah, because some women be like, don't you want to experience? Experience what? Experience having a big freaking stomach with stretch marks all over the place. Now, there are women that have had kids that have been pregnant and don't have any stretch marks, but that's just the lucky ones. You know what I'm saying? That's just the lucky one. But say, for instance, you ain't lucky like that, and you get pregnant, and then your stomach gets all big, and it's all these stretch marks. I seen this one chick's stomach, and I'm not trying to be smart, but it looked like bread pudding. Her stomach was so nasty looking. It had those. She was dark skinned, so it had them white stretch marks. It was, oh my God, it was horrible. And she had children. It was horrible. She said her kids did that to her body. And I'm looking like, no, I don't want to experience that. I don't want to experience my body. And when I'm with my husband in an intimate moment, I'm going to want the lights off all the time. I don't want my husband to see me looking like that. I don't want him to look at me in disgust. No, so hopefully she because when she wore her clothes, you would never think her stomach looked like that. I don't know if she was using Spanx. She had to have been wearing Spanx or something to pull all of that in. Cause no, she wasn't big. No. I take that back. She wasn't big. She was actually small, but her stomach was just messed up. It had all these white stretch marks on it. She was dark skinned, so you could really see the stretch marks. And it was just bad looking. So hopefully she got that taken care of. Or try some oils or something, because
Out of me, and I'm sure there's a lot of women out there who agree with me. Might sound crazy to other women, but it's just not for me. So being that I'm 37, if I meet a man, I always tell them that, I'm not looking to have children. I always tend to date men who already have kids so that I don't feel pressure to have to give them a child later. I tend to date older men in their 40s or early 50s, like I said, who already have children or are okay with living the rest of their life without kids and just living their life out with their partner. The last few times I dated men with kids, I was always all for it because I actually love kids. I love family. And I embrace that, But the last few times I notice it's like a pattern that keeps happening, and I don't know what to do anymore because now I'm again dating another man who has 2 kids. But between the co-parenting and wanting to be there for their kids, I feel like I keep running into the problem where they're getting overwhelmed and they don't have enough time to date, which I could understand. I've never been a parent, but if I was, I would want to be very involved in my kids' lives, and especially as a dad.
So I want to be a wife, but I don't want no man with kids, even though I got kids.
That's crazy.
I know. But I don't have...
Why don't you want a man with kids? And you have primary custody? You have primary custody?
Do I have primary custody? Yes, I do. It's not the kids. I'm fine with kids. I don't like the baby mama drama. I don't have that.
Children, how many fathers do you have?
1.
And where is he?
Incarcerated.
For the rest of his life?
Not for the rest of his life, no. But he's married.
Doesn't matter. Still could be drama.
You think so? I don't think so. I've never had...
He's alive. He's alive.
But I've never had
But okay, but he's alive.
Correct.
So you don't want a man with kids because you don't want to deal with possible drama, but you want a man of high value man to deal with a woman with kids from a man who's in jail.
I know. Yep. That's unlogical, huh?
Yeah, that definitely is something to think about, because no man wants to come into a relationship and you off the bat telling, oh, you got kids, well, where's the father? Oh, he's incarcerated. That's gonna be a big red flag. Like, he's gonna be like, all he's gonna think is drama himself. So yeah, she can't expect somebody to sign up for that, lady. Yeah, you can't expect somebody to sign up for that. She gonna get a lot of no's. Unless she find somebody that's about that life.
If you have a man, your man has kids, and you don't have kids, and you're young, turning hot, be a young.
I completely agree with this message. If you
Listen, I'm not dating a man with kids. Okay? I don't care how fine you is. I don't care how promising your future is. The moment you went and made one of my sisters a single mother and created a broken home, you are not my type. Okay? Go save your family. Go get your relationship back. Because y'all be blowing me. It's always somebody baby daddy that's searching for love. What other greater love could I give you than she risked her life to push your seed out of this earth? Like, who could love you like that? How could you still be searching for that? Why not just restore your relationship with her and be with her? And if she don't want you, you know I ain't gonna want you. Think about it. The woman who birthed your child, risked her life, don't want you, why would I want you? Think about that. You're such a good man and you enlightened now. Go get your family back. Okay? Because leave the single people with no kids out of that. We don't deserve that type of trauma. Okay? You go be with the woman who risked her life to bring your seed in this earth. So if she not good enough for you, I'm not good enough for you. And you definitely not good enough for me. Listen.
That lady's smart. That lady is smart. This is what I call a free thinker. She uses her mind. This is a lady that can spot a cheater from a mile away. She said she just dropped some gems for you women. If he couldn't make it with somebody that almost lost her life bringing his child into this world, there's nothing that you can do for him. You think he's going to stay with you? You're just probably just somebody he just want to play around with, and until he can find something else that might interest him.
Three non-negotiables when I'm dating. If you're with me more than you're with your kids,
you're trash. That's the ending of her statement. Y'all ladies are...
So, fun fact about me is that I don't like dating men with kids. And they be like, oh my God, Sabrina, how dare you say that you have two crush fruit? Be that as it may, it be the fact that, like, I'll be on the phone with them and they'll hear my crush fruit in the back, just, being the children that they are. And then all of a sudden they will be like, that's how my little boy is, that's how my little girl is. I don't give a fuck. I'm on your baby mama's side. No, absolutely not. Because I don't, no.
So, another red flag that women may feel is a big deal is dating a man with kids. Before making a decision and flagging that man out because he has kids, you need to look at the dynamic that he has with his baby mom. Was it a situation whereby it was a one-night stand and he so happily had a kid with this person? He didn't want the kid, but he had no choice but to take care of the responsibility? Or is it someone that he had a kid with that he was really involved with and he was in love with? Because if he was in love with her and he was dating her, like that was his ex of 6-7 years, sweetie, what do you think is going to happen? He will be digging up in that salmon when you guys are not on good terms. So when you find out if a man has kids, you need to understand the dynamic and the relationship that he has with his baby mom. before you can say, you know what, I can ignore that red flag. You may be thinking, what about me that have kids? Like, am I a red flag? First of all, number one, you don't need to tell any man that you just met about how many kids you have or if you have kids or not, because you don't even know if he's going to be in your life long enough to meet your kids. When you think about it, it's really a waste of time. Why would you tell a man if you have kids or not when you're not even sure if he's going to be in your life long enough to meet your kids? Stop giving out unnecessary information. He shouldn't be focused on your income nor how many kids you have. That's not his business. He shouldn't be knowing that. When you are sure of him is when you can open up to him and tell him, yeah, I have this many kids or whatever. When you know he...
No, I don't think that lady's right. I don't agree with that. I feel like two people, if you're about to get emotionally involved, I think you should just stop being crazy. Just put everything out on the table. Just put everything out on the table. That man should know if you have 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. He should know if you have kids. Just like you should know if he have kids. But a lot of people are scared because they know if they say, a lot of women and men, they want you to like them first. They want to do all the things for you, this, that, and the third. And then everybody, oh, I had 3 kids. No, they ain't gonna rock with a lot of people. Like, there was a woman on here, and I think I'm gonna find that video. I think it was on TikTok. And she didn't even know he had a child. And he brings the child over the house like they just gonna have a picnic in the park. And she was like, no. She said, I didn't sign up for that. She said, you didn't tell me that you had a son. And I kind of felt bad for the kid because you could see his face like he was really sad. He was probably hoping this woman would be nice and accept him. But you can't be mad at that lady. That man lied to her. And that's where all this comes to a head, is when these men start to lie. And these women start to lie. Just put it all out on the table. Look, I have 5 kids. Okay, now he probably be like, no, I don't want to fool with nobody got kids. And then you move on. You move on because there are men that don't care if you had 5 kids. There's a lot of women in relationships, been in long relationships with men, and they had kids already. So yeah, I don't agree with her saying that, you don't have to tell him that you have kids. Yes, you do, lady. You have to tell him straight up when y'all talking on the phone. Just like if you dating online. A lot of people lie online. Y'all won't even put in the profile that you guys have kids. And that's leading somebody to lies. You're not letting that person make the decision if they even want to fool with you. That's why a lot of times if you go on these certain dating websites, make sure that you filter it. Filter it to men that don't have kids. They have that. Men that don't have kids. Put in your profile, I don't want to date any men that have kids. I'm not doing it. I don't want to date nobody that has kids. Put it in your profile. If they have the option. I think POF actually has that option. I'm not for sure. It might have changed. But there are some of those dating websites that have that option where, do you want to date a man with kids? Put no. And yes, you're still going to have a man. If they look at you and you're really attractive, they'll try anyway. They'll try anyway. Not knowing, hey, dude, I just said, I don't want to date kids. What don't you get? What's not getting through your head? What is not seeking through your brain that she says she doesn't want to date nobody with kids? And you men get so mad. Well, I don't want to date no women with kids. Fine. Then go find some woman that don't have kids. Men are so egotistical. It's ridiculous. Like, nobody wants to hear that. If you are a lot of men on these TikToks and YouTube, all you doing is regurgitating what the woman just said. That's what she just said. Even about the 4B. Oh, we gonna talk about the 4B movement tomorrow. We ain't gonna talk about that today. We gonna get in that tomorrow, guys. But yeah, I don't agree with that. I agree that everything should be on the table before we even start anything, because that'll let each one of us know if we even gonna waste any time. Why sit there and waste time and wait until we get. What if we don't get? What if we don't get emotionally involved until like a year? Then you saying okay? Then you saying you gonna come out and say, oh, I forgot to tell you I got 4 kids. That's not gonna work for a lot of women.
He's ready to be in your life. But if he's not ready to be in your life, what the hell are you telling him about your kids for? Because it's just like, as a woman on the first date, a man shouldn't know everything about you. He needs to uncover some information. So some things are better left unsaid, not because you're a liar, but because you don't need to say it. You have to be like the Joker. Another red flag that women may...
You have ever met a child?
No, I don't agree with none of that she said. I think that it should all be out on the table. And hey, sometimes you're going to get some hits. You're going to get hits and miss anyway. Even if you don't tell him about your kids, you probably get a hit and miss anyway. He'll probably say, and then you gonna really feel bad if you don't tell him that you had kids, and then he's like, he tells you, yeah, I don't really date women with kids, and then you're like, freak, we've been together for 3 years, and I didn't tell him about my kids yet, and now he's talking about that he don't date women with kids. Oh. It's over. It's going to be over before it even started. So I definitely don't agree with what she's saying.
It should be self-explanatory.
Was giving excellent, well-reasoned counsel about why she does not date men with children. Check out her video. But she was being way too nice, so I had to stitch. Those are the reasons you don't date divorced men with children or widowed men with children. Yeah, the responsibility, the impact it has on your life as a woman without children. This has nothing to do with why I don't date baby daddies. Ladies, if you're a carefree black girl, you have got to stay away from people who are going to sap your energy. And these men are number 1 on that hit list. Why? Because they are irresponsible. Why does he have a child or multiple children with a woman or women he's not married to? Because he was sleeping around, probably without protection. And I know some of these men are out there right now like, oh, she tricked me. She told me she was on the pill. Yeah, right there. That lets me know you're irresponsible. You are fine with putting your future in the hands of a woman you're not committed to. You don't value yourself, your body, your health, or your legacy enough to either be responsible enough to only have...
That's like, what do you mean?
What if he had 2 and 2 baby mamas?
If he had 2 kids, he had 2 kids.
All right, that's 30. Oh, that's gangster. That's
If he had 2 kids, he had 2 kids. But what I will say is, like, I prefer that a man have no kids because I want to have that first experience with you because I don't have any kids myself. Right? Yeah, I want to share that. I think that is, like, very special. But if I were to love you and fall in love with you and we decided we wanted to grow and build together and you have 2 kids, you have 2 kids. I'm going to love them and take care of them and treat them like their own. No. That's like, what do you mean?
What if he
Do not date a man with a baby mom. Like, he could have, like, a wife or something, but if he has, like, a baby mom and the baby is under 2, just don't date him.
Unless you know how to fight.
Do not date a man with a baby mom. Like, he could have, like, a wife or something, but if he has, like, a baby mom and the baby is under 2, just don't date him.
Yeah, that is true because, look, if you date a man and he has a infant, and he has to get the infant he has to get the infant every weekend. You guys live together, you're gonna have to deal with that baby too. And 9 times out of 10, he's gonna put the baby off on you. Saying, oh man, I gotta go to work. I didn't know such and such. When he knew everything. He knew that he has his kids on the weekend all the time, but he's lying to you because he knows you're gonna suck it up and take it like a woman, or because you want to be the best woman, right? So that's what he's going to tell you. He's going to be like, oh, she'll be cool with it, and you be cool with it, and then you have a crying baby. You don't know if these babies got colic. You don't know what kind of health problems these babies got. And some babies, oh my God, some babies just cry. You can give them everything. You can feed them. Alexa, be quiet. You can feed them. You can change their diaper. They can be nice and dry. You can do everything. You can play with them for an hour. And then you put them down, try to get some rest. They're still crying. You know, that maybe they want you to hold them. You're holding them. They still crying. Some babies just are not comfortable at all. It doesn't matter what you do for them. They just can't get comfortable. They may have colic. Those kids that had that colic, they cry all the time, all the time, all the time. There's no stopping the crying. Sometimes they said that you can roll them up like a little burrito, but you have to know how to do that. A lot of women don't know how to roll kids up and look like a daggone burrito.
I give you reasons why you might not want to date a man with kids if you do not have kids. I will also make a video on why you might want to date a man with kids if you don't have kids, because I'm dating a man with kids and I don't. So where do I start? To start with, reason number one, you will never be the number one priority in this man's life. Because his kids will. And if you can handle that, good. If you can't, then just don't be in a relationship. And my boyfriend's pretty good at letting me know that I'm...
If you're dating a man that has children, the first thing you want to do is you want to see the relationship that he has with the mother of his children. If this man is constantly bad-mouthing her, belittling her, disrespecting her, and making himself the victim throughout the whole relationship that they had, this man is a liar. And I'm going to give you a few tips. If he doesn't want you guys to like ever mingle together, that's because he doesn't want her to like let you know how this man really is. And on top of that, he also wants to make his baby moms jealous. He wants to like have you guys separate so he can feel like, oh, I'm the king. And, you know, I want these women fighting over me. That's little man energy. Like straight up, that's straight little man energy. So like,
I mean, he is on some. I mean, he's telling a little bit of truth, but I don't believe all what he's saying, because I believe, you know, even if a man's not with a woman, it is possible that he's telling you the truth about why he's not with her. You know, it's possible for him to tell you the truth, like, look, I ain't with her because she's this way or she's that way, and it was just awful being with her. You know, so, yeah.
Why you shouldn't even casually date men with kids. This is the story that I found, and I want us to discuss it together. All right, here we go. I was very naive about men, but through a mutual friend, I managed to snag me a very fit dad who was well out of my league. He was the opposite, a married to the job type of guy who had sole custody of his 7-year-old daughter. He would gush about her constantly, and I, being the fence sitter, I was absolutely melted. We started dating casually, nothing official, and I figured he would do the typical overprotective parent thing and not actually introduce me to his kid till way later. Nope. Second date, dinner at his house with the daughter. 2 weeks later, he texts me with the audacity to ask, hey, I'm working late. Do you mind picking up daughter from school? Maybe swing by McDonald's for dinner? She's the key. I was really weirded out by it. We had only gone on a handful of dates, but he trusted me to babysit, and so babysit I did. Again, the guy was out of my league, and I felt lucky he even showed me interest in me. After the first text, I got other texts pushing more boundaries. Pick up groceries, do some dishes, etc. I hated it, but I was hoping it was just a temporary hitch in the relationship and not a preview of things to come. Ha! Ha, indeed, honey bunny. She was very naive to believe this, because girl, it's only going to get worse from here. Let's go. Everything came to a head when I was babysitting at his house, and I got a text at 7:15. Hey, I'm not going to be done with work until late. Could you get the daughter a bath and put her to bed for me, please? With a kissy face. I was floored. Here I was across town alone in another man's house taking care of a child I barely knew. My fault for assuming a cop would have better protective instincts. I stood in the kitchen dumbfounded and I cried. I hated how I felt. Used and unspecial, trapped in overburden. I think that night was the point in my motherhood journey when I realized I didn't actually want to be a mother. He came home at 2 a.m. Maybe he was cheating. Maybe he was hanging out with his bros. Maybe he really was just working, but it didn't matter. I ended our little fling the next day. He took it harder than I thought, claiming that he was really starting to fall for me. And what about his daughter? She's really bonded with you. I almost fell for it. But then I realized the only reason he liked me so much was because I was such a pushover who wouldn't love to have an on-call free babysitter you could occasionally sleep with. Our entire interlude lasted 1 month. 1 month is all it took for this guy to promote me to stepmom status. So no pun intended, bullet dodge. Moral of the story, don't even casually date single dads. They will hop on any chance to unload their kid on you. Also recognize when someone is taking advantage of you instead of rationalizing or excusing it away. This is true. I think this girl, she suffered from...
Yeah, because if you think about it, most men's dream is to sleep with the babysitter. You don't see all them Lifetime movies. That's his ultimate dream, is to sleep with the babysitter.
having low self-esteem, and so she had stars in her eyes about the guy who was, clear out of her league or whatever. So she says, I think if she had more confidence in herself, this wouldn't have happened to her. She wouldn't have been taken advantage of like that. Why you shouldn't even casually date men with kids.
Oh, baby, calm down. Calm down. Your whole identity is Miss Baby Mama. Chill out. Who died and made you head baby mama in charge? Nobody's messing with your family. You're going to be able to keep your family and your baby dad. Nobody wants them, sister. Calm down.
So I want to be a wife. And I know somebody will be like, girl, you and your 3 kids. But because I feel like, oh my God, this is going to sound so good. But I really feel like I'm the best baby mama to have. Because I truly, when I move on, I just truly move on. I don't bother you. I don't call you. I don't be worried about what your girlfriend doing. I'll be none of that. We don't even need to meet. I arrange my nannies to, drop off the kids. So I say all that to say, when I have tried to do the stepmom thing, their baby mamas are just not ready to let go. And they will just drag it through the mud. And I know somebody will be like, girl, you and your 3 kids. But because I feel like, oh my God, this is going to sound so good. But I really feel like I'm the best baby mama to have. Because I truly, when I move on, I just truly move on. I don't bother you. I don't call you. I don't be worried about what your girlfriend doing. I'll be none of that. We don't even need to meet. I arrange my nannies to, drop off the kids. So I say all that to say,
But see, she not understanding. She's talking about she arranged her nannies to drop off the kids. Lady, what are you talking about, drop off the kids? You gonna have to talk to me because I'm gonna need to know what your schedule's gonna be. I'm gonna need to know what your schedule's gonna be because you can't be dropping the kids off all the time. That's not gonna work. Because if he's working and I'm working, or if he's working and I'm home, I'm not going to agree. If I don't feel like it, I'm not going to agree to take the kids and watch the kids. I'm not going to agree to that. That means he's going to always have to be at the house when these kids come. That means he's going to always have to be at the house when these kids come because I need my me time. I need my free time. And what if I have other kids? That's what's wrong with a lot of these women talking about, oh, I don't have to meet you. But I'm going to drop the kids off whenever I want to. No, lady, it don't work like that. And that's not going to work.
When I have tried to do a stepmom thing, their baby mamas are just not ready to let go. And they will just drag it through the mud.
I'm sorry. Not everybody fits in the bad bitch genre. It's a genre. Not everybody fits on the roster. I'm sorry. Not everybody fits in the bad bitch genre. It's a genre. Not everybody fits on...
Ladies, if you don't have no children, stop dating men with children. Stop dating men with children by women that he never had any intention of marrying or being with. Because you're going to end up being his next baby mama. And he's going to leave you high and dry, the same way he left the other women. You're not special. You're not going to be able to change him. For whatever reason, he equates his manhood and masculinity with reproducing himself. That's how he feels like he's a man. Forget the fact that he can't afford none of the children that he's having. Forget the fact that you're going to be financially responsible because the child support check he going to get ain't going to make it. Lady.
There is only one rule. Keep the lights on. There is only one.
And one of the only things worse than a man that doesn't want to see his own children is a woman that stands behind a man that doesn't want to see his own children. Why are you even entertaining that kind of behavior? They should be getting no one. As long as women are going for guys like that, certain men are going to think it's okay to neglect their own children. And one of the only things worse than a man that doesn't want to see his own children.
Yeah, because if you're a woman and you with a man that don't see his own kids, you're trash. You're trash just like that man, and he's going to do the absolute thing to you. The same thing's going to happen to you. He's not going to have a good life. He might play that little game that he's happy, but deep down inside, he's not happy because he knows he's trash. He knows he's trash because he doesn't spend time with his kids. He knows he's trash. He knows he's a deadbeat dad. And he's trash. He knows this inside. And you might think he happy and stuff, but you will catch him. There'll be days when you catch him and he'll just be looking sad. Just try. If you're a woman with a man that don't see his kids, just look at him one day. You gotta catch him. You gotta catch him. Look at him one day. And you're gonna see him just looking. And he's gonna be looking pretty pathetic because he knows in the back of his head he ain't a good father. He ain't a good father. Even if he's taking care of your kids, he's still not no good dad. He's a trash deadbeat bum. Yeah, that's what he is. And you shouldn't be with men like that. If you're a woman, I'm telling you, if you're a woman and you're dating a man that don't take care of his kids, you can best believe you're going to be in that same boat very soon. Because he's going to leave you. And he's going to be with somebody else. And he's just going to continue the cycle. But you should be ashamed of being with a man that doesn't take care of his kids. You got to be a trashy woman to do that. You have very low self-esteem to do that.
Is a woman that stands behind a man that doesn't want to see his own children. Why are you even entertaining that kind of behavior? They should be getting no one. As long as women are going for guys like that, certain men are going to think it's okay to neglect their own children. And one of the only things worse than a man that doesn't want to see his...
When a woman has a child, there's no upside. Nah. When a woman has a child, there's no upside for you as a man coming in and taking care of that child. Because if you get in a relationship with that girl, what's up happening is you have to support that child that isn't yours. You build a bond and attachment with that child. And then let's say the girl breaks up with you, it's going to hurt.
What do you mean by support?
When the man gets in a relationship with you, he's not just getting in a relationship with you, he's going to have to take that child on at some point. So my point is that when he takes you on and that child, he's going to bear responsibility for that child as well. But the problem is that he's not going to have the same authority. He won't be able to discipline that child the way he wants because it's not his kid. So he has responsibility without authority. Responsibility without authority is slavery. So he ends up having to take care of that kid. Let's say y'all break up. Now he loses access to that kid, which he ended up developing a bond with, and he loses you. So it's going to hurt 2-3 times more. The stepdaddy game is an L for most guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Is an L for most guys. Responsibility without authority. Responsibility.
Yeah, but he don't know what the heck he talking about. Let me tell you something about this so-called bonding with your kid. A lot of men don't even like you guys. They don't even like women's kids. I've heard a lot of dudes say, "Damn, I can't stand her kids. Her kids are so freaking annoying." They're just playing that game. Alexa, be quiet. They're just playing that game because they want you to feel like they really care about your kid. But a lot of these men, they don't care two craps about your kid. They ain't trying to create no special bond with your kids. And you women know you have to be very careful if this man is treating you like crap, but then on the other side he's treating your kids all nice and stuff. That's a red flag. Yeah, you gonna need to get on up out of my house. But yeah, a lot of these men are not trying to create any kind of relationships with these kids. They're just not. Maybe mature men are, but there ain't a lot of mature men anymore. So yeah, this dude don't know what he talking about. He just pulling crap out of his behind. He don't know what he talking about. Boy, go sit down. You don't even need a podcast.
Nah, I say let it die. Let it die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and come on, who's with me, huh? Nah, I say let it die. Let it die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and come on, huh?
For all of you single moms out there who is getting ready to date a man who has no kids and is kind of on his own, make sure that you give him some alone time. Make sure that you do some things that he wants to do. Make sure that the entire relationship is not completely based around the kid that you had with the man you were married to or with before the new guy. Make sure you don't make him feel like he is not important. I know a lot of single moms, they have their kids, that's their world, and going into a new relationship, you are kind of, I don't know if this is going to work, and everything's about my kid comes first all the time. Like, I get that. And
yeah, what he is saying is true. If you're a woman and you have a kid, but you're looking to date a man with no kids, you definitely have to understand and respect his boundaries too. That, hey, I'm coming into this relationship and I'm taking on your kid too. But what you won't be doing is making me feel like I'm unimportant, making me feel like I can't do any kind of discipline. And you're just going to have this kid up in here talking to me any type of way. And that's not going to ride for a lot of men. So before you women think you're going to run off into the sunset and happily ever after with these men that don't have any kids, you definitely have to know your boundaries, because a lot of those men with no kids, they're not going to be stepped over like that. They like, you coming in here with 2-3 kids. And you think you're going to treat me any type of way? And you think you just going to come up in here and start calling shots and stuff, lady? No, it's not going to work like that, buttercup. No. So he is saying some good stuff right here.
understand that when a man dates you, and you've got a kid, he's going to form a relationship and a bond with that kid just the same as he is with you. So
I think if men only bond relationships with kids is if he really like that woman. If he don't like you like that, and you can tell if a man don't like you like that, he ain't gonna be bonding with anything. He's gonna be trying his best every time you come with the kids. He's gonna act like he has somewhere to go or he has something to do. That's how you can tell. If you always come around with your kids and he always has something to do, that's a man that don't like your kids. He only like you for the benefits of opening them bags. And you women have to understand that. But yeah, you can tell if a man like really likes you and he really accepts your kids and he's really bonding with your kids. That's a different story. Because there are men out there that do bond with kids, but a lot of times men ain't trying to bond with any kids when they first start in a relationship. They're trying to get into your pants. Let's just be honest about this.
it's a little scary for a guy to go into a relationship like that because you've got a lot of baggage, and he loses twice, not just once, if something happens between you all, because he loses the kid and the kid loses him. So getting into a relationship with someone who doesn't have kids and you have a kid, that's a pretty big deal. You know, he's got to deal with the baby daddy. He's got to deal with the baby daddy parent.
Yeah, and a lot of men don't want to have kids, so they will take a woman that has a kid and a kid that they can bond with. Some men are like that. And like a lot of these men that don't have kids, they want that. They might want a kid. Maybe they don't want a kid with you, but they'll take on your kid. Some men are really, I don't know, some men don't want no kids, but they'll take on your kid. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of these men that don't have kids, they will form a bond with a kid, with a woman that they really like. They ain't forming no bond with no woman they don't like. But that, yeah, he does lose. He does lose twice. Because if the relationship don't work out, he loses you, and then he loses the bond with that kid. So it's just like, dang, she left me. I was really bonding with the kid. Kid was even calling me dad, and now the kid's gone. And sometimes it can crush a man. Sometimes it can crush a man. You gotta be really careful, ladies, playing these little games.
He's got to deal with the fact that you are always going to have the mindset of my kid comes before you, and he's expendable. So make sure that you treat that guy right, because if he treats you right, he treats your kids right, and he takes on that baggage without question, and he works for you, and he does right by you, do right by him, because, you know, he's a good person. There's not a lot of guys out there that would take on that responsibility and take on that role. So just make sure you do right by him if he does right by you and your kids.
So for all the women who out here mad because men don't want to date you because you got kids, get over it. Life's tough. It is what it is. You had them, they your kids. Oh well. I done had a man tell me he don't want to talk to me because I'm cool, I'm straight, you know, I love your vibe, whatever, but you have kids and I'm not really inking it. And I said, okay. And to this day, we cool. Like, I see him, he see me, we talk, he, and we go about our business. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to get mad because your personal preference is a woman without kids. What can I do about that? Can't get rid of their kids. Like, so what am I going to do about that? Move on. It is what it is. Like, get over it. Get over it. And it's plenty of men that's out here that's willing to date women with kids. They are. But I will say this, and I've said it before, you have to be one hell of a woman. You can't just be a woman with kids and no goals, no ambition. You know, you're fat. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't. You just can't. The answer's going to be, they're going to turn you down every time. You have to be one hell of a woman in order for this man to choose you. Because once again, men choose women. In order for this man to choose you and say, yeah, I'm going to take a chance with her. I want to be with her. I love her. And I'm going to go ahead and accept these kids because why not? You get what I'm saying? Like, but you have to be one hell of a woman. You can't be around here no little thotty pocket or a little hood rat, or you get what I'm saying? Like, no.
No, that depends, because some men like that ratchetness woman. Some men like that. It depends on the man, so you can't say that you can't be this type. See, a lot of these people been listening to Kevin Samuel. You can just tell by the way they talk. They've been listening to that man for years, but some men will date a woman, she's overweight and have a whole bunch of kids. So that's not true. That's not true. You don't have to be you don't have to be this courageous woman, or you have to be that woman to get a man to date you if you have kids. No, you don't. This lady don't know what she's talking about.
If you decide to date,
but that's her opinion.
When you date a woman who got kids, you got to understand that you are not her main priority. That her kids will always come first. You and this woman have to be on the same page at all times in order for this to be successful. Last thing you need to understand is not only are you bringing this woman in your life, but you bringing some other man's children in your life as well. Now, I know a lot of women will say, well, my kids don't need another father. They got a dad already. But the truth is, if you decide to have something serious with this woman, her and her kids are now under your leadership and guidance. Whenever they're in your presence, you are now responsible for their well-being. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a special type of man to be able to date a woman who got kids. So before you decide to take things to the next level, ask yourself, are you prepared for everything that comes with this? But make sure you follow my page if you like more game like this. If you decide to date women who have kids, this video's for you. When you date a woman who got kids, you got to understand that you are not her main priority, that her kids will always...
I'm going to tell you why men cannot date you or choose not to date you if you have kids with another man. right? If you're a single mother, I give you all my respect. If you're a single mother raising children, I give you all my respect, honestly. But the sad truth is, men are not going to want to deal with those kids if they are from another baby daddy. They're going to have to put time, effort, money into another man's kids. Despite how beautiful you are, despite what you have to offer, it is a headache for most men. And that's why, for example, let's say Catherine from the Ace family, she's going to have a hard time finding a guy that's going to marry her. She has 3 kids. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he is saying a little, I do agree with him a little tad bit, but look, you may have to go high and low, ladies, to find these men that will date you with kids. But the way he's talking is that women who have kids won't never have a chance to get married and stuff. That's not true. That's not true. You will have a chance. You just have to find. Those men are out there. They're just harder to find. Because most of those men that will date you with kids, they have other men in their ears telling them, oh, don't date her. She got a lot of kids. Yo, why you want to date her, yo? Why you want to date her? She got a whole bunch of kids. And you got the dude, he's looking like, man, cause, I date her because, I like kids or whatever. Man, but you gonna have to deal with all that baggage she brings. That's why it's hard to find those men, because you have other men that's brainwashing them to not deal with you guys. Hold on, guys. We're going to take a small little break and I will be back. Make sure that you like and subscribe channel, and also hit the comments and let me know how you feel.